But not everyone adheres to the rules.
He had a lot of girlfriends. He had a cell phone.
The Amish are a forgiving people, but some sins are greater than others.
We discovered she was lying there, and there was blood all over.
Lies and deception run deep, and nothing is simple in the heart of Amish country. Wayne and Holmes County, Ohio, home to the largest population of Amish in the United States.
The Amish came to the American Midwest about 250 years ago, fleeing religious persecution in Europe.
They exist without electricity, plumbing, and many things we take for granted.
So their life is still pretty much as it has been for more than 200 years.
They feel that they can be closer to God if they don't have the conveniences that we have.
Within this low-crime community, there are only 2 reported murders among the Amish in America in more than 250 years. Eli Weaver and Barbara Miller are born into the Andy Weaver sect of the Amish and meet as teenagers.
The Andy Weaver sect is one of the most conservative of the Amish sects. There are several different groups within the Amish in Ohio.
The churches aren't structured, but every week they take turns and meet in barns. They follow the Bible's instruction not to be conformed with the world and protect themselves from outside influences, such as radio, TV, and the internet. No modern technology is allowed, no computers or even cell phones. In this community, there is group access to one shared telephone in a shanty-style booth.
The phone booth is one that they use regularly for their calls. It's not just an emergency, but it's like neighbors share the phone.
As well as no modern technology, an Amish person may only drive a horse and buggy. So if they require a car ride, they are allowed to hire what they term an English driver.
That's just their way of distinguishing between other people and people who are like them. Then they say like the English or the Mennonites when they're referring to a driver to come and pick them up.
Eli and Barbara get to know each other as teens over Sunday meals, barn raisings, or when somebody is married.
The Amish are what are called Anabaptists. They believe that everybody has an individual right to decide if they're going to become baptized and stay in the Amish community.
The couple become close during Rumspringa, the time in an Amish youth's teenage life when they are allowed to experiment.
Rumspringa is the process of a teenage Amish child living English, trying out these things they want to try. It's not too uncommon to have Amish kids involved in a drinking party where there's underage alcohol consumption.
Barbara Weaver was born Barbara Miller, and she had what I think of as very typical childhood. The way that she spent her Rumspringa years as a teenager was not pushing the boundaries and drinking and driving and carousing, but she would have girlfriends over. They read Amish romance novels, and it was just as innocent as you can imagine. Eli always had a reputation as a troublemaker, even as a child. His mother said that he would want to get away with everything.
Eli Weaver experiments during Rumspringa.
We don't know if this kind of bad boy image appealed to Barbara Miller. She must have seen something in him that she thought would make a good husband and father, because that's what they're looking for.
If you decide to not become Amish after Rumspringa, you must part from your family. You can still see each other occasionally, but you're giving up a lot.
I believe it's a way to not have anybody living Amish who doesn't want to be.
Eli and Barbara choose to stay with their families and community. They get baptized, and then, after a short courtship, wed.
Eli and Barbara were very young when they got married, about 20 years old, and they would have had a ceremony in the Sunday barn and a big lunch afterwards.
They have 5 children and firmly settle into the traditional Amish way of life.
It's important to keep things within the Amish community because they don't want to live like the rest of us. They honor their faith by living separately.
The Weavers moved to Maysville in Wayne County to be closer to Barbara's family. It's there that Eli goes on to open a hunting business. He also works as a hunting guide.
He carried fishing rods and shotguns and everything that the hunter and fisherman needed. That was a really great idea for him because he wasn't a farmer. It was something that he had interest and expertise in.
His business is successful, and Eli and Barbara raise their children and live the typical Amish life. June 2nd, 2009. Barbara sleeps alone in the wee hours of the morning. Only her and the children in the house. Sometime later, an armed intruder enters the Weaver household through the unlocked door. As a thunderstorm rages outside, the lurker moves slowly through the Weaver household in search of something or someone. The sound of the storm masks the stranger's footfall. The ultimate destination is the master bedroom. Barbara Weaver is asleep when the intruder enters. The morning of June 2nd, one of the Weaver children tries to wake his mother up, but can't.
She was wearing a nightgown and she was lying on her right side and there was a huge wound in her chest.
He runs to a neighbor's house and tells her his mother won't wake up and her feet are cold.
She then went to the community telephone and called the sheriff's office.
911, do you have emergency?
Yes, we do. Person not responding.
Did you know the person's breathing?
No. Okay, she's breathing.
I had no idea what was going on. But I happened to glance back down the alley and I saw 3 sheriff's cars. And I said, what on earth is going on back there? And then her sisters told me that Barbara had been found unresponsive and bloody, and everyone was just in shock.
It's inconceivable to friends and neighbors that the young, vibrant, and peace-loving Barbara Weaver, a pillar of the Amish community, is dead. And the question everyone is asking, where is Barbara's husband, Eli?
Stay tuned to get this 5-piece bakeware set, a $60 value, absolutely free. Tired of that pan that always sticks? It's so scratched and worn, you can't cook in it.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with my new hammered pans from Gotham Steel. This complete 9-piece set is guaranteed to beautify your kitchen like never before.
Gosh, what I love most about this design is this hammered copper look. It would just look so fantastic hanging in my kitchen.
Wow, this is a beautiful pan. It looks great. Look at those eggs dancing around in there. I tell you, I'm sold. Where do I get these? I love them.
Hammered pans are ultra non-stick. Nothing sticks. Even gooey mac and cheese slips out with ease. And look, these sticky candies melted with a torch are no match for hammered pans. Plus, they're super durable, so use metal beaters straight in the pan for a gourmet souffle that slips out and a pan that looks just like new. They're even oven safe up to 500 degrees. So bake homemade chicken pot pie, cheesy lasagna, or this whole chicken dinner. Any recipe looks great in these pans. From steak flambe to delicious desserts and delicate fish, nothing sticks. Plus, the entire set is dishwasher safe and PFOA free.
Similar sets are over $1,000, but you won't pay that. Not $500 or even $300. Get the full 9-piece Gotham Steel hammered set for just 5 payments of $49.99, and we'll even ship it to you free. But order now and we'll drop 1 payment. That's just 4 payments of $49.99, and we'll even guarantee it for a full 10 years. Plus, we'll include this free steamer and strainer, and our 5-piece bakeware set with every pan you'll ever need to make delicious breads, cakes, and desserts. Together, these are an $80 value, yours 100% free. That's a huge 15-piece set with free shipping. Call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-963-1791 or go to buyhammered.com. That's 1-800-963-1791, or you can order online at buyhammered.com.
Say hello to Litter Robot, the solution to all your litter box problems. Remove the chore of scooping and trap the smell, even in a multi-cat home. After your cat exits, Litter Robot cycles within minutes, separating the clean litter from the dirty clumps, dropping them into the tightly sealed drawer below. So you don't have to think about it until the Whisker app notifies you. Goodbye, odor. Goodbye, scooping. Goodbye, litter box. Hello, Litter Robot.
Hi, I'm Gina. I was really upset at the way I had let myself go. My cravings were out of control. I had to do something. We all know it's important to take care of our health, but it seems the trend is looking for a quick fix. And as a nurse, it's really important to me what I put in my body. The main difference with Golo is the way I felt. I wasn't jittery. My cravings went away. I felt satisfied and healthy and had tons of energy. Give Golo a shot. You won't be sorry.
Summer's burning heat is here. And for many animals, help can't come fast enough.
These animals are suffering from rays of sun that they can't escape. They don't have access to any shelter or shade. They're licking the bottom of bowls that have been dry for days. These animals are dying from heat.
For many animals across the country right now, the suffering is excruciating and time is running out.
There are animals wasting away under the hot sun, no access to shelter, no access to fresh water. They are suffering.
Will you help an animal who's suffering in the burning sun right now? Visit this website, call or scan the code on your screen. Your gift of just $19 a month can be the difference between life and death for an animal this summer.
There are situations in which an animal will lay down and they will give up, because that honestly is their better escape from this reality.
And that's why we can't give up, and why we need you right this minute, before it's too late. 63 cents a day will provide shelter, water, and loving care to an animal who may not survive much longer. Say yes to pulling an animal out of the burning heat today. Join with your monthly gift in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this welcome kit and one-of-a-kind t-shirt.
We know it's our responsibility to give them that shelter as soon as possible, to get them that water, to give them that chance to survive.
So please don't wait another second. Help rescue an animal today. Go online, call, or scan right now.
In the tight-knit Amish community of Wayne County, Ohio, the ultra-conservative Andy Weaver sect has strict rules of conduct that all members adhere to. Eli and Barbara Weaver marry young, have a large family, and live the typical Amish life. But in the early morning of June 2nd, 2009, while Barbara is alone at home with the children, someone sneaks into the house and fires a shotgun at the sleeping figure in Eli's bedroom. In the morning, Barbara Weaver can't be roused.
The children went to the next door neighbor and asked for help. They said, I think my mom's dead. And the neighbor didn't want to believe it. She came over and then she discovered that she had been shot, and she went to the phone booth then to call for help.
Police and ambulance arrive on the scene. Deputies secure the house. Barbara Weaver is non-responsive. Authorities quickly learn from the neighbors that the couple's marriage is not an easy one, but the Amish are a non-violent people, so it seems extremely unlikely that this incident involves the Amish.
Murder among the Amish is really unusual and very rare.
So a crime this serious occurring to an Amish person is certainly news. It's very unusual. Occurring to an Amish woman makes it even more unusual.
The Weaver home is examined for clues by authorities. At 11:30 a.m., the coroner arrives. Barbara Weaver is officially pronounced dead.
The burglary was pretty easy to rule out initially. There was nothing touched in the house. There were valuables that were out. It just appeared to be somebody walked in the house, shot Barbara Weaver, and then walked out and walked past valuables both times.
Police discover that at 3 a.m. that morning, Eli leaves with a party of friends for a fishing trip. Eli is contacted through the driver, who, being non-Amish, has a cell phone. Eli isn't given much information, but is told that his wife Barbara is non-responsive.
Between Eli and the men he was fishing with, they learn that something's happened. And so they stop and form a small prayer circle.
The group packs up their fishing gear and hurries back to Maysville.
Eli's friend Steve is driving them back to town, and the sheriff's deputy calls Steve, the driver. And Steve says, well, I'm just going to take Eli home. And the sheriff's deputies say, no, you're coming right to the sheriff's office. And you're not dropping Eli anywhere.
When Eli returns, he meets with detectives and gives a statement. Eli denies any involvement in his wife's death. Eli tells detectives that his wife helps him get ready for his fishing trip when he oversleeps, and that's the last time he sees her alive.
It's my belief the spouse is the suspect in 90% of the cases and is probably guilty of the murder in 95% of the cases. And I remember telling him, but at the same time I was informed that he had an alibi. He was nowhere near the scene of the murder.
Police want to do a lie detector test, but Eli's attorney refuses.
I informed them that I believed I had an innocent client. We would not be doing that test today, but I thought he would be cooperating fully in their investigation to help them find the person that did it.
His alibi appears to be airtight. Eli signs papers permitting the search of his house and business.
They, after a while, took him home and had him change his clothes so they could take his clothes. They tested his hands for gunshot residue. There was nothing.
Investigators have the projectile that killed Barbara Weaver, but no murder weapon.
A lot of times we get the gun. A lot of times we don't. A lot of times the gun disappears, and all we have is the bullet, possibility of what the gun's fired in, and that's it. We don't have nothing else.
Police collect 2 410 gauge shotguns from Eli's gun shop. Examination of a firearm can include the rifling, which may reveal the brand or model of the firearm that fired a bullet.
Rifling characteristics. Every gun has it. Inside the barrel, you have cutouts that are called lands and grooves.
But inside, most shotgun barrels are a smoothbore, non-rifled surface.
Those shotguns, they have no ballistic value unless you have a shell casing. But when you have no rifling involved, there's no ballistic value with that particular firearm.
But what police notice in Eli's gun shop is that there's a box of 410 slugs with 1 slug missing. June 3rd, the day after the murder, phone messages are checked at the community phone booth, which is located just outside of Eli's store. One new voicemail from an unidentified male states, Eli, you can run, but you can't hide. Obviously, we got the wrong person last night.
They were trying to aim at him, and they got his wife instead.
This message is interesting to police because Eli admits a secret to them in his interview.
When the police were questioning him, he had admitted that he had an affair with other women.
Did Eli's affairs turn dangerous and inadvertently catch his wife in the crossfire.
Someone was trying to kill Eli, walked into a dark room. If you think about it, there's no electricity in an Amish home. There's no lights to turn on. Went into the master bedroom and shot the body in the bed.
Eli's lovers could be the key to the murder.
There was a lot of roads to go down in the investigation, a lot of angles to look at as the defense counsel here to try to figure out, one, how to represent my client, but two, how to assist law enforcement in finding the person that did this.
As the investigation heats up, initially the Amish people who know the Weavers are quiet.
The Amish were told not to talk about it because they tend to be very clannish and circle the wagons whenever they feel like they're being attacked.
But soon, people will start to talk, and authorities will be led deep into the untold secrets of Amish country.
Iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford has mesmerized us with her ageless beauty. Now, at 58 years old, she just keeps getting better. What's the secret to her glowing, youthful skin? It's Meaningful Beauty.
This is our 20th anniversary of Meaningful Beauty.
Today, more than 5 million women have trusted their skin to Meaningful Beauty, and you're invited to join the party.
I've been using Meaningful Beauty for 15 years.
12 years.
Who's been using it the longest?
17 years.
17? A lot of women will try a product once, but when you get repeat customers, that means it works, and that means they love it as much as I do.
I can sum it up in one word: hydration. Soft, glowy, smooth, magical.
I love to smile. Meaningful Beauty makes my skin smile.
I'm proud and I feel honored that people trust me enough to try it the first time, and then when they stick with it because they're getting great results, that makes me feel amazing.
20 years ago, Cindy Crawford shared her exclusive access to world-renowned cosmetic specialist, Dr. Jean-Louis Sabat. He developed Meaningful Beauty especially for her. These cutting-edge formulas include super antioxidants from a genetically rare melon in the south of France. The ordinary melon wrinkles, ages, and decays, while Dr. Sabat's melon stays fresh and firm. Now there's really big news, because Dr. Sabat has made Cindy's favorite Meaningful Beauty system even better.
I'm outside of Dr. Sabat's brand new, beautiful clinic, and I can't wait to go inside.
Hello!
So what I'm most excited about with Meaningful Beauty is we just never stand still.
It was really ahead of the time, and we're still ahead of our time because we have new advanced products. I don't think our customers realize how much science there is behind Meaningful Beauty.
Dr. Sabat's pioneering science has made Meaningful Beauty even more advanced because it's designed to deliver our melon leaf stem cell technology and other essential ingredients deeper into the skin.
You wake up and your face looks youthful, and I'm a new person.
Now it's your turn to see what Meaningful Beauty can do for you. Start with Cindy's Skin Softening Cleanser. You'll love how it refreshes and hydrates as it cleans away impurities and makeup without sulfates. Next, get that luminous glow with our anti-aging day cream. With broad-spectrum SPF 30, this vanishing formula is designed to nourish while it protects your skin from the sun.
I love the day cream. It's super hydrating on my skin. It's protecting my skin. It also is tightening my skin.
Now, it's Cindy's Lifting Eye Cream that reduces the appearance of puffiness, dark circles, and crow's feet. And it's the all-new Age Recovery Night Cream, reformulated with our exclusive Retinol, a unique complex of melon super antioxidants that boosts your skin's resilience for effective yet gentle results.
Even though the ingredients in this are super effective and you will get great results and you will wake up with beautiful looking skin, it is gentle enough to use even on the most delicate of skin.
And listen to this. Our new and improved youth-activating melon serum now includes the ultrafine bubbles of Hydrosome H2O. This patented technology is designed to deliver our melon leaf stem cell technology and other essential ingredients deeper into the skin, so it looks plumper, firmer, and brighter.
Meaningful Beauty helps restore the look of your skin because it has all the ingredients you need to restore and to protect your skin.
Dr. Sabat's clients often pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for his treatments. So getting his extraordinary Meaningful Beauty formulas for $179 when purchased separately is already an incredible bargain. Because Cindy is offering Meaningful Beauty directly to you, you won't pay $179 or $139 or even $59. Order now and you'll pay just $69.95. And to thank you for your order, we'll send you Cindy's Super Brightening Duo, a $120 value, free, with Cindy's favorite Revive and Brighten eye masks and the luxurious new Vitamin C Biphase Brightening Oil. All of this is valued at over $300. Yours now for just $69.95. Act now and use promo code SAVE10 and get another $10 off while supplies last. You'll pay just $59.95 for all this, plus free shipping. And your order always comes with our 60-day money-back guarantee.
Meaningful beauty is about helping women feel confident in their skin and letting their true beauty shine through.
This special offer is not available in any store, so scan the code, call, or go to meaningfulbeauty.com right now.
Coming up next on True Crime Network.
Barbara Weaver, a young Amish wife and mother, is found shot dead in her bed. Her husband Eli confesses he is restless in the marriage. Police would consider him the prime suspect, but Eli leaves on a fishing trip with friends just before the killing and has an airtight alibi. An anonymous message left on the community phone makes it sound like it is Eli and not Barbara Weaver who is the intended target. Forensic experts find the victim, Barbara Weaver, is killed by a single shotgun blast to the right side of her chest.
The forensics people carefully measured the wound and concluded that the shot was made by a .410 gauge shotgun.
Several shotgun pellets are removed from the corpse. They also find bruising on her hands and neck.
They found a lot of powder burns on the blanket that had been covering her and on the nightgown. There was no gunpowder residue on her hands, so it wasn't a self-inflicted wound.
In the wake of the murder, women contact police about Eli Weaver. They claim they meet Eli over a dating chat site. Eli appears to have access to a cell phone and computer, both forbidden to the Amish.
They discovered that he had many more girlfriends than what he had said. He told each one they were the only one, and he was really cozy up to one, and then after a while another, and he was just kind of using all of them and not really wanting to attach to anyone in particular. And all the while, he's a married man with 5 children.
Eli's online profile asks, quote, "Who wants to do an Amish guy?"
Eli posted a photograph of himself nude from the waist up and went by the moniker Amish Stud. He attracted a lot of women who were interested in that because, that was forbidden. Barbara's diaries and letters talk about how controlling Eli was, but also very plainly that he wanted a form of sex from her that she wasn't comfortable giving, and that was the main point of contention between them.
As well as multiple affairs, Eli leaves his wife in 2006 to live with a, quote, English woman named Christine. He comes back after 6 months, but 2 weeks later, he leaves his wife and children again. Barbara confides a lot with her sister Fanny.
When Eli found out that Barbara was writing to a counselor and getting letters in return, she had the letters go through Fanny's address so that Eli wouldn't know.
But Eli is unable to leave for long.
He went back to the Amish life, and he would have to have repented to the bishop. And both times, he was forgiven and taken back into the fold.
After his transgressions, the Amish spirit of forgiveness ensures Eli will again enjoy the support of his community.
They had shunned him, excommunicated and shunned him, but then he was welcomed back when he said he wanted to make things right again.
Despite being forgiven, some community members are still suspicious of him. But there is one local person who is with Eli frequently that perhaps no one suspects. Eli previously works in construction, and it's there he meets his co-worker's wife, Barbara
was raised Amish, but she was living an English lifestyle. She had a husband, she had a couple of children, and part of her employment was to drive Amish around and charge them for the travel.
They at some point began to have sexual encounters in her car or in the woods or in his barn, and she gave him a laptop and she gave him a cell phone.
Through his girlfriends, police learned that not only does Eli have his own cell phone, but that he has murder on his mind.
They were sharing with the detectives that Eli would jokingly say to them, you know, if you see my wife, will you run her down? Or how much would it take to pay somebody to poison my wife?
None of them were interested in doing that.
She knew Eli had been exploring murder methods, and he had asked her if she would help kill his wife, and she was pretty convinced that he'd had a role in the murder.
Detectives want to get more concrete evidence.
She's wearing a wire, a bug, and she's actually left the police station, is in her car when Eli phones. She asks him about what happened to his wife.
She and Eli discuss the murder. Though he gives no incriminating information away, police now have his phone number. They get a subpoena for the phone records and learn that Barbara Raber has been giving Eli some interesting gifts.
She paid for his cell phone and the calls, and eventually she paid for cell phones that Eli was giving to some of his girlfriends.
Meanwhile, police make headway with the mysterious phone call left on the community phone.
It never added up to anything. I think they could tell right away that it was fake. It was a very bad fake call.
It clearly showed, in my mind, a consciousness of guilt, trying to create a smokescreen or a distraction for the investigators.
And the voice is easily identified by people in the community.
They all said, that's David Weaver. And then they went to David Weaver, who said, yes, Barb Raber asked me as a favor for Eli to leave this message.
Barbara Raber's name comes up all too frequently in the investigation.
When it was discovered that Eli had a cell phone with him, they got access to the phone, and they did request the cell phone carrier preserve any text messages and activity on that phone.
Authorities learned that from May 30th to June 2nd, 2009, Barbara Raber and Eli exchanged text messages about methods of murder.
The texts were saying things like what kind of poison would work for her. They were researching that a little bit, and then finally Eli said, I don't care how you do it, just do it.
Graphic texts such as, maybe you could blow up the house. What about your kids? The kids will go to heaven because they're innocent. Alert police to a conspiracy to commit murder.
And then finally they settled on a shotgun. They didn't actually say shotgun, but that was kind of what the implication was. And then Eli said, just go up to the bedroom and get it done.
On June 10th, 2009, detectives arrest both Eli Weaver and Barbara Raber.
When Eli is brought out of the house, his children watching, his legs give way, and he has to lean on the back of the sheriff's car before he gets inside. Almost the same thing with Barbara Raber. Her legs give way, and she's more vocal than Eli is. She says right away, will I have an attorney? Is there an attorney there for me? She also says to the deputies, it doesn't look good, does it?
I was surprised when that happened, but in talking to the officers and looking at the reports, then I saw a little closer, a little more of the picture that they had, and thought their decision probably was justified with what they knew. Then they continued to investigate and really put a pretty solid case together based on circumstantial evidence, but overwhelming circumstantial evidence of Eli and Barbara Raber's guilt.
Barbara Raber admits to police she has an affair with Eli, but insists it ends 6 months earlier. She is adamant she did not commit murder and that she has an alibi.
Barbara said she was home all night and her husband knows that. Her husband was there too.
But Eli says it is his lover, Barbara Raber, who commits the murder.
He continued to point the finger at Barb Raber. He said he didn't know what had happened, but implicated Barb.
The day after Barbara Raber's arrest, she has a change of heart and admits she goes to the Weaver house around 4 in the morning, armed with a 410 gauge shotgun. She says her only intent on the night of the murder is to threaten Barbara Weaver. But then something unexpected happens.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on getting you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. But don't worry, we've got a lot more than that going for us. Woo!
Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top smartphones from all the major companies. If it's state-of-the-art cameras you want with space-age metal housing, we got them. If you want a smartphone with lots of bells and whistles but won't break the bank, we've got that too. We even have flip phones like the Iris Flip. If you're someone that doesn't need all that mumbo-jumbo and just wants something simple. And now, we even have watches.
We do.
No matter what device you choose, you'll be happy to know that if your data needs change,
No problem.
with our SmartFlex feature, you don't have to sweat it. Like say you're on a road trip out west and end up using a bunch of data. We can simply flex you up to the next data tier for as little as $5. Then, when you get home, you can flex right back down with no penalty. So you only pay for what you actually need.
With Consumer Cellular, you get the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost.
I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing stores in my town yet? Can I get these phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
Will our award-winning customer service help me switch over or add a line for $15 to make my own family plan?
Of course they will.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
You see that tower out there? It's a beauty. And there are thousands more like it, working hard for me and you, supplying 5G coverage to this beautiful nation of ours. We know how important coverage is. That's why we offer a risk-free guarantee. If you're not satisfied within 30 days of activation, you can pay nothing. Oh, look.
New customers who buy any phone get 2 months of service free when they sign up by July 31st. Call 800-311-5340 or visit consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's talking about. Pick up the phone.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. At XChair, we think it also gets down to how you sit, which is why our technology is light years ahead. With our groundbreaking LMX technology, bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience. At XChair, we've got our eye on the future of work, so you can focus on the present. Bring home extra comfort during our big July 4th sale. Get up to $400 off with LMX and FS locking wheels included. Deals end soon.
Poshmark is the perfect side hustle. It got me through school, a new job, and getting into my first apartment. There's so much I can sell. Bags, accessories, home decor, and it's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You can do it in a minute. I love it.
Spot Pet insurance plans help pet parents focus on the moments that matter and worry less about unexpected vet bills. From puppyhood and beyond, Spot can cover up to 90% of eligible vet visits. Visit spotpet.com to get a free quote.
They were gunned down.
This is a Stone Cold Killer.
Now, determined detectives will have to trace the ballistics to track down their shooter.
We are all hands on deck.
Targeted for murder. Next on True Crime Network.
Eli Weaver does not follow the rules of his Amish sect. He has multiple affairs and even leaves his family twice. But when he begs forgiveness from his church, he's welcomed back. Barbara Weaver states she's not afraid of her philandering husband, but she is afraid of his girlfriends. Soon afterward, she is found shot to death in her bed. Barbara Raber, Eli's longtime affair, admits to sneaking in the Weaver house the night of the murder with the intent to scare Barbara Weaver.
In her first unrecorded statement, she mentioned walking down the hallway towards the bedroom and seeing somebody sit up on the couch, which the only way she could have known that is if she was in the house. That was one of the relatives' children spending the night on the couch.
But then, according to Barbara Raber, a terrible mistake happens.
Barbara Raber claimed that she just went in to scare Barbara Weaver and the gun accidentally went off.
But authorities find Barbara Raber's accidental shooting story improbable. The texts police have seen between Barbara Raber and Eli show a cold-blooded killing, orchestrated by Eli and carried out by Barbara Raber.
I remember some of the text messages from the night of the murder, her telling Eli, I think it's like 3:30 in the morning, she's scared, she didn't know if she could get through with it, how is she going to get in the house, where should she park, him explaining that the basement door is open, there's a flashlight there for her. She was looking for him to give her strength to pull this off, and he was willing to keep pushing her and giving her the information, giving her the incentive, the encouragement to go in the house and do what she did.
And she felt like she just had to do it because she was doing it for him.
Barbara Raber appears to be someone who Eli Weaver could easily manipulate. She shows herself to be a supporter who is always there for Eli. Maybe even when it comes to helping Eli plan his wife's murder. As Barbara Raber writes in a text, quote, I thought if we could get that fly poison stuff in a spiced cupcake, she might not detect it.
The moment that Barbara Raber is arrested, they have a search warrant and they go in to search her house. It's kind of tough because she was a hoarder. It was so bad that it was mentioned twice at her trial, how difficult it was to search her house. They found a laptop that she had sort of hidden, and they found that she had searched 841 times for poisons using searches such as quickest way to kill a person or easiest way to kill somebody.
Police learned that a few weeks before the murder, possibly inspired by Barbara Raber's research on poison, Eli tries to kill his wife, Barbara Weaver, himself.
She took a sip and she knew instantly something was wrong and she spit it out. And she asked him, Eli, what was in this? And he said it was sleeping pills. He was trying to kill himself. But I think she knew. She wasn't that stupid that she wouldn't have known that he was actually meaning for her to drink it.
Even after the incident, his wife, Barbara Weaver, stays with Eli.
It's a sacred thing among the Amish that you stay in your marriage and you work things out. You don't just leave. It's not an option to divorce.
After his failed attempt at murder, texts show that Eli encourages Barbara Raber to do the job for him.
He could pretty much just get her to do what he wanted.
And she thought they were going to have a life, and she would do this for him.
Despite Barbara Raber's apparent act of devotion, after the murder, Eli quickly distances himself from her.
The next time that Eli's questioned, he brings up Barbara Raber, and he says that she's in love with him, crushing on him, and that she might have killed his wife, and she wants him herself.
On August 17, 2009, Eli Weaver agrees to plead guilty to conspiracy to commit murder. As part of the plea deal, he promises to testify for the prosecution at Barbara Raber's murder trial.
Eli really didn't care what happened to Barbara Raber in all of this. He was throwing her to the wolves.
Eli saw everybody around him as sort of supporting actors in the play or the movie of Eli Weaver's life.
Barbara Raber, however, doesn't want a deal. She wants to go to trial and have her day in court.
She wants a trial because she believes she can prove she's innocent.
The Barbara Raber murder trial gets underway on September 16, 2009. Gun store owner Larry Miller takes the stand and testifies that the defendant Barbara Raber purchases a 410 on November 15, 2008. David Weaver describes the message he left at Barbara Raber's request on the community phone that attempts to confuse police about the shooting.
He just said that's the kind of thing you do for a friend.
David Weaver also mentions that he lends Barbara Raber a 410 gauge shotgun in the past that she never returns.
Her attorney worked very hard to propose a different scenario, and that is that Barbara Raber was never at the house, or she was at the house and didn't fire the gun.
Defense proposes that Barbara Weaver is murdered by her husband, Eli Weaver, before he even leaves for the fishing trip just after 3 a.m.
The medical examiner said she'd been dead a few hours when her son found her, and they narrowed it to, I believe, between 1 and 7 o'clock in the morning.
This timeline gives Eli ample opportunity to kill his wife before he leaves the house early that morning. In addition to the shotgun wound, Barbara's body has unexplained contusions, scratches, and bruising. Defense argues Eli is a murderer trying to frame his girlfriend, Barbara Raber.
What worked in her defense is that they couldn't show that Barb Raber had ever been in that house. Not one fingerprint, not one trace of anything else. It was as if nobody had been in that house except Eli and his kids.
Eli Weaver has motive and opportunity, and so does Barbara Raber. Although prosecution has no murder weapon, no fingerprints, and no sign of forced entry.
She had several different versions of what happened that were inconsistent with each other, inconsistent with the evidence, too. In her initial interview with law enforcement, Barb Raber claimed that she just went in to scare Barbara Weaver and the gun accidentally went off. But then she later claimed she was never in the house.
Following testimony from the medical examiner and several police officers, and with the case hanging in the balance, a surprising witness takes the stand.
Iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford has mesmerized us with her ageless beauty. Now, at 58 years old, she just keeps getting better. What's the secret to her glowing, youthful skin? It's meaningful beauty.
This is our 20th anniversary of Meaningful Beauty.
Today, more than 5 million women have trusted their skin to Meaningful Beauty. And you're invited to join the party.
I've been using Meaningful Beauty for 15 years.
12 years.
Who's been using it the longest?
17 years.
17? A lot of women will try a product once, but when you get repeat customers, that means it works, and that means they love it as much as I do.
I can sum it up in one word: hydration. Soft, glowy, smooth, magical.
I love to smile. Meaningful Beauty makes my skin smile.
I'm proud and I feel honored that people trust me enough to try it the first time, and then when they stick with it because they're getting great results, that makes me feel amazing.
20 years ago, Cindy Crawford shared her exclusive access to world-renowned cosmetic specialist, Dr. Jean-Louis Sabat. He developed Meaningful Beauty especially for her. These cutting-edge formulas include super antioxidants from a genetically rare melon in the south of France. The ordinary melon wrinkles, ages, and decays, while Dr. Sabat's melon stays fresh and firm. Now there's really big news, because Dr. Sabat has made Cindy's favorite Meaningful Beauty system even better.
I'm outside of Dr. Sabat's brand new, beautiful clinic, and I can't wait to go inside.
Hello!
So what I'm most excited about with Meaningful Beauty is we just never stand still.
It was really ahead of the time, and we still ahead of our time because we have new advanced products. I don't think our customers realize how much science there is behind Meaningful Beauty.
Dr. Sabat's pioneering science has made Meaningful Beauty even more advanced because it's designed to deliver our melon leaf stem cell technology and other essential ingredients deeper into the skin.
You wake up and your face looks youthful, and I'm a new person.
Now it's your turn to see what Meaningful Beauty can do for you. Start with Cindy's Skin Softening Cleanser. You'll love how it refreshes and hydrates as it cleans away impurities in makeup without sulfates. Next, get that luminous glow with our anti-aging day cream. With broad-spectrum SPF 30, this vanishing formula is designed to nourish while it protects your skin from the sun.
I love the day cream. It's super hydrating on my skin. It's protecting my skin. It also is tightening my skin.
Now, it's Cindy's Lifting Eye Cream that reduces the appearance of puffiness, dark circles, and crow's feet. And it's the all-new Age Recovery Night Cream, reformulated with our exclusive Retinol, a unique complex of melon super antioxidants that boosts your skin's resilience for effective yet gentle results.
Even though the ingredients in this are super effective and you will get great results and you will wake up with beautiful looking skin, it is gentle enough to use even on the most delicate of skin.
And listen to this. Our new and improved youth-activating melon serum now includes the ultrafine bubbles of Hydrosome H2O. This patented technology is designed to deliver our melon leaf stem cell technology and other essential ingredients deeper into the skin, so it looks plumper, firmer, and brighter.
Meaningful Beauty helps restore the look of your skin because it has all the ingredients you need to restore and to protect your skin.
Dr. Sabah's clients often pay hundreds to thousands of dollars for his treatments. So getting his extraordinary Meaningful Beauty formulas for $179 when purchased separately is already an incredible bargain. Because Cindy is offering Meaningful Beauty directly to you, you won't pay $179 or $139 or even $99. Order now and you'll pay just $69.95. And to thank you for your order, we'll send you Cindy's Super Brightening Duo, a $120 value, free, with Cindy's favorite Revive and Brighten eye masks and the luxurious new Vitamin C Biphase Brightening Oil. All of this is valued at over $300. Yours now for just $69.95. Act now and use promo code SAVE10 and get another $10 off while supplies last. You'll pay just $59.95 for all this, plus free shipping. And your order always comes with our 60-day money-back guarantee.
Meaningful Beauty is about helping women feel confident in their skin and letting their true beauty shine through.
This special offer is not available in any store, so scan the code, call, or go to meaningfulbeauty.com right now.
Two former lovers battle in court to place the blame for murder. The victim's husband, Eli Weaver, and his lover, Barbara Raver. Both have motive and opportunity. Barbara Raver's cellmate from Wayne County Jail is sworn in to testify. According to this witness, Barbara Raver admits to her that she purchases a .410 gauge shotgun after Eli Weaver, on numerous occasions, begs her to murder his wife. A compelling story against Barbara Raver takes shape. Raver also asks the cellmate if she knows how long a fingerprint can last on a gun. Barbara Raver gives police inconsistent statements, initially denying any involvement, and then later claiming Weaver's death is accidental.
You can argue conflicting theories and tell the jury either one of these could be true, but I don't think you can go to a jury and say, I didn't do it, and also I did it because he made me. I think that sort of inconsistency weakens both of those arguments.
Barbara Raver confesses to killing the victim with a gun, accidentally and from afar, but that doesn't match the forensics.
The autopsy of Barbara Weaver showed that it was a shotgun shot to her chest, fairly close range. There was powder residue, what we call stippling, on the sheet that was on top of her, which indicated the barrel of the shotgun was 6 inches to 12 inches, I believe, from her chest.
She exchanges text messages with Eli both directly before and after Barbara Weaver's murder, placing herself at the scene.
There were several avenues where she could have obtained a gun. There was a call from Barbara Raver to her husband asking him to get rid of that thing. She didn't identify it as a gun. I think she mentioned it was in a camper and trailer on the property. He denied ever doing anything, but police went out there and never found any weapon in the camper.
Eli Weaver testifies against Barbara Raver and notes that after he speaks of wanting to be rid of his wife, Raver suggests poisoning his wife, suffocating her, or killing her with a firearm. Eli explains that the detailed text messages he and Barbara Raver exchanged that clearly show her plan to murder his wife, including a text message in which she suggests the day of the murder, June 2nd, quote, would be a good day to do it. After the murder, Eli receives a text message from Barbara Raver asking that he not give up the cell phone, showing her awareness of its damaging content.
Barbara Raver and technology never got along very well. We know it was the text messages that implicated her.
She also sends a text message to Eli asking him how to clean a gun so it will not appear as if it has been fired, and asking him what she should tell her husband if he discovers that the .410 gauge shotgun is missing.
She thought when she was in jail awaiting trial that she could phone her sister and friends and her husband, and that the jail wouldn't know what she was saying if they spoke in Dutch, which is the main language there. So she just said all kinds of things in Dutch that implicated herself. And of course, the police department got a neighboring detective who speaks Dutch, and he came over and translated everything.
On October 1st, 2009, the jury finds Barbara Raber guilty of aggravated murder and is sentenced to life in prison.
The community had suspected all along that Eli was involved. It was kind of a shock to learn that Barbara was involved because they didn't think she was capable of such a thing. There was a lot of shock and horror there, and members of Barbara's church were really shocked too. They didn't think she was capable of murder.
In Barbara Raber, Eli finds the perfect Patsy.
Barb came from a very troubled family. They were Amish. There were 4 young sons who died of a very unusual disease when they were all quite young. Then her parents adopted her and a couple of sisters. So there was just always this terrible feeling of tragedy and loss underlying everything in her family.
I understood that Barbara went along with Eli because she wanted to feel validated. She wanted to feel like she's really someone important, and she didn't get that from her family.
The children of both Barbara Weaver and Barbara Raber inherit a terrible legacy of violence.
Now they have one parent dead and one in prison, and they're being raised by relatives, and it's been really hard for the children.
There's a larger trend now among the Amish to allow law enforcement into the community.
They've been willing to report those crimes, where before they felt it was God's command not to report a crime. If somebody steals from you, turn your cheek. And that has slowly turned into a willingness to report crimes.
The murder of Barbara Weaver is planned and executed with the aid of technology in a community that forbids electronics.
A lot of Amish kids have cell phones they sneak and hide and charge in the barn and keep in their pocket and that sort of thing. That's always part of the rebellion.
Because of his plea deal in exchange for testifying against Barbara, Eli Weaver gets 15 years to life in prison at the Marion Correctional Institution.
I know that Eli has made friends in prison. I think he's the leader of a work group or something. The way I characterize Eli is that he's like a super con man. He knows how to get what he wants by using his charm, and he uses people as a means of getting what he wants.
My opinion of him then became that he was clearly a very selfish man who would rather have his wife killed, and possibly his children as well, to get out of a marriage that he was not committed to, but yet to still have the Amish community, which he was not committed to, in the background willing to support him. So he really wanted the best of both worlds, and he wasn't worried about who he needed to kill to maintain that.
His wife, who all she wanted was a good marriage and children, and who tried so hard to reach him and never could, but that she was murdered because he wanted to be free.
In one of her last letters to her counselor, Barbara Weaver writes of her husband, quote, "I often think of Christ's words, 'Forgive him, for he knows not what he does.'"
The Amish community is an extremely forgiving community, but I think this has served to sever ties with Eli, although I have been told he still maintains a relationship with his children. I think some of them would be willing to see him or anxious to see him and reestablish a relationship.
Eli's children, who are the victims of the crime, may possibly show their father Amish forgiveness.
If you take into consideration the victims of the offense, they may be requesting the defendant get out. So that's another way to factor in how you decide whether or not justice has been served.
If his children speak on his behalf, it is possible Eli will be released in 2024, when he is 44 years of age.
But I don't believe he'll be able to come back to his Amish church and begin again as a member of the Amish community. Although, again, I'm amazed by their ability to forgive.
Barbara Raber is serving 20 years to life at the Ohio Reformatory for Women and will be eligible for parole in April of 2024.